I don't have time. Do you feel like this in your life? Maybe you're like me. I've got 3 kids. I'm managing a household, exercise routine. Oh my gosh, so much more stuff, right? And you think, I want to start tutoring online, but I don't really have the time to put the pieces into place. And do you ever wonder how some people accomplish so many things? Well, you're struggling just to complete one thing. We often complain about being too busy to be able to do the things that we really want to do. But guess what? We all have the same 24 hours a day, 168 hours a week. Nobody's given any more or any less unless they pass away. But today, I'm going to solve that problem for you. See, the problem isn't that we don't have time. It really comes down to how we manage our time. I mean, you make time for the things that are important for you. Now, Gary Vaynerchuk works from the time he wakes up till the time he goes to bed to create the great results he sees in his business. And the good news is, you don't have to be this crazy or diligent, but you do need to have some kind of a plan in place. As the saying goes, if you don't plan, then plan to fail. Now, if you want to lose weight, you don't just think about it and it magically happens, right? You have to decide how you're going to track what you're eating, exercise more, and come up with meal plans. If you're struggling financially, you need to set up a budget and track where the money is coming in and decide if cutting certain things out could help you meet your financial goals. Now, we rarely think about how to budget our time. Instead, many of us use our time as our excuse and not something that we have control over. And this makes us feel better when we don't accomplish the things that we want to accomplish because really it's time's fault, not ours, right? But we have to take the bull by the horns here and we have to be honest with ourselves. Are we giving things that we say are important the priority they deserve? Now, when I got started, my kids were a priority. I had a small goal in the beginning. I just wanted to make $50,000 a year so that I could replace my teaching job and be a stay-at-home mom. My family was the most important thing, and replacing my income was second. And I put every ounce of energy into both of these things. So how can you find a successful system even if you don't have enough time? Well, that is exactly what I plan on showing you in this video. Hey there, my name's Joanne Kaminski, and I started my tutoring business in 2010. Now, 2 of my daughters were in school during the day. Caitlin was a first grader and Rebecca was in kindergarten. And my youngest was still at home with me during the day. And I enrolled her in preschool 2 days a week for 3 hours. And I had just left my teaching job. I was trying to get started as an online tutor, and I kind of felt lost. I knew that I wanted to teach reading online, but I had no idea what next steps to take. I spent a lot of time creating materials as a way to really procrastinate getting started. And of course, I didn't realize that that was what I was doing. So this is an observation that I've made in hindsight. You know, it's when you watch your life and replay and you're like, was I really spending my time in the most efficient manner? Now, when I started educating myself on how to get students, I realized that I could spend countless hours educating myself, which is important, but I also need to take action. So I began thinking about my schedule and where I could take action. And I started an experiment with myself. First, I got clear on how many students I wanted to work with. My number at that point was 30. I felt that with 30 students, I'd be able to work with them, spend enough time on my marketing efforts and lesson planning to be effective. Next, I took a look at my calendar and I gave every single student I was going to get a fake name, like student A, student B, student C. And then I created a Google Calendar just for my tutoring business. And I placed those students on my calendar. Now, it certainly was eye-opening because in the beginning, I was working from 4 to 9 every day, Monday through Friday and Sunday. Remember that I said I have 3 kids? This is also the time that my kids are home. So this is not really an ideal situation. So I started shifting my calendar and I thought, how can I work during the day as well? Which countries could I work with? Could I work with some homeschooling students? What are the time zones that I could work with? And when? And now I know so much more about making this strategy even more effective. Now, if you've liked so far what I've talked about, please hit that like, subscribe, and that little bell so that you can stay notified when other great videos are released. And If you know someone who could benefit from this, please, 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 please share it with them. Well, let's dive into the strategy that I've been talking about. So the first step is to put your students on your calendar. Is it 5 students, 10 students, 40 students? Whatever your number is, create your student names and then add them to your calendar. And if you're going to work with some homeschooling students during the day or other countries, identify that on your calendar as well. Now comes the fun part, because you get to take a look at where the bulk of your students are and focus your marketing on that group of people. Now, if you want to work mostly during the day, then the bulk should be spent on connecting with homeschool families, kids going to online schools, creating useful material, getting on homeschool podcasts, writing blog posts for homeschool blogs. And now you can create content that's going to move people into your funnel. Now, I personally love working with students in London. So I did some Skype and the classroom calls with schools in London so that I could get found. Now, there is a link in the description so that you can check it out. Now, I joined as Become a Speaker and began looking for classrooms that might want to connect in the areas around the world that I wanted to teach. Now, I thought of ways that I could be of service instead of asking them to refer me. So we always ended up at some point talking about how I was an online reading tutor and they would be interested in learning more. And they'd put my information in a newsletter that went out to the parents, and if there was permission to videotape the session, then they'd watch it on YouTube. It was a lot of fun, and it was a great way to connect with people who could refer me. And I cared more about building a relationship with a teacher than I did about getting new students, because it could turn into potential referrals down the line. But I was also able to use my keywords in my videos to get found by students from other places in the world. And today, you can still join Skype in the Classroom and offer to become a speaker. And teachers are looking for volunteers because they rarely want to pay, since honestly, they just make so little, right? So keep in mind that this is a great networking opportunity. Make it more about them than about you. And you're going to be on the right path to getting referrals by some of these teachers that are in the classroom. Now, the most important part of this plan is that the amount of hours that you want to work are now going to be scheduled as hours that you spend on taking action to get students. Now, in the beginning, that may be creating your website. As you continue, it may be that you are creating content that is going to allow people to find you online in the specific area that you want to get found. And once you create content, you need to think about the different ways that you are going to share and optimize it so that people can find you through your content. Now, if you put 5 hours on your calendar, then you're going to spend 5 hours a week putting in action. If you have space for those students right now, then you have the time to put into getting them. So this is going to pay off in the long run, because you are going to get to keep all of the profit versus sharing it with a tutoring company. And once you get students, you can delete the amount of time that you are working with them from your marketing efforts. Now, if you ever decided that you'd like to work with more students, then add them onto your calendar now and use that time to get them. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Joanne, you don't understand. I'm going back to school, or I've had a crisis in my family, or something else that you are honestly using as an excuse from reaching your dream. It is important to be honest with yourself. Can you really take on these students, but not spend any time trying to get them? I mean, in the beginning, I had no idea what actions to take. I mean, this is why I have created so much content for you guys. I don't want you to be stuck in the situation of, I don't know what action to take. I hear so many people who tell me they binge listen to me in their car on the way to work, or they use their time in the beginning to watch my videos on YouTube. If you're one of these people, I want to say thank you for doing that. And thank you for making this a priority in your life. The time that you spend educating yourself is going to be worth more than gold. And I want all of you to become an expert in the area that you tutor, and I want you taking action to get the results that you want. Now, I've also created a checklist for you so that you can know what actions to take. Now, all you need to do is go to the link in the description called Checklist for Online Tutor Business Success. And this will share what pieces you need to put into place to be successful. Now, I have had people ask me, what do I do about marketing my business once I'm book solid? And my answer is, you celebrate. You did it. And now, because of all of the amazing content that you have put out there, you can sit back and you can watch the magic happen. People are going to begin referring you. People are going to find your old content online, and you are going to be in the sweetest spot in your business compared to all the other people who still have to bid for students and go where all the other tutors are. You have set yourself up as an expert, and people want to work with you. And when a student leaves the tutoring situation because they no longer need your services, then that time is spent on filling that space. Go back to the strategies that work the best for you. Spend some time writing up a case study on that student and put it on your blog and share it with your social media. Ask the parent if they'd be willing to share that case study. You are going to be amazed how they are going to be so willing to help you out when you're getting the results that they were hoping for. It is an amazing business, you guys. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Joanne, this sounds like a lot of work. Yep, it is. And this is what is going to make you stand out from your competition. The fact that you're not afraid to take a little bit of grit, that you're willing to do whatever it takes to be successful and never give up. Don't let your current circumstances, you guys, determine your future results. It is absolutely crazy to do this. I mean, think about it. How many times have you heard yourself say, can I really do this? Can I make it a sustainable business? Who's going to want to pay me? And these are fair questions to ask in the beginning, but if you get stuck there, you're not going to be able to move forward. So put this plan into place and watch your footprint online grow. People who are in the Insider Secrets Club get to be guided daily on what actions to take. We've got group coaching calls, a book club, a tech call to learn how to use the tech, and a question and answer call. And this is to keep you on the right track. Now, if you're interested in joining us, go to the description, click on number 5, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed by the resources that you're going to have at the tip of your fingers. And if you're not happy, I'm going to refund you. No questions asked. So now that you found the time to work on your business, what actions are you going to take? The first one is to create that business plan. So in our next video, I am going to guide you on the one-page business plan that is going to help you stay organized, focused, and ready to reach your goals. You're going to be able to edit this document, make it a habit to actually use it versus create it once and then think that you're done with it. So join me next week as I reveal this amazing tool. Till next time, you guys, my name is Joanne Kaminski, your online tutor business coach, helping you get found, hired, and referred.